I I still feel pretty clumsy around the sort of treatment planning, the sort of your two triangles, just kind of the actual, not the document itself. Like I think I conceptually get it, but like actually sort of working with the client through it, and then also the reevaluation, like when they come back in after a processing session. So I wonder if you could just kind of speak to those two things at all.
Yeah. So, give me a specific example when you talked about is there a particular client that popped in as you were saying the adaptive and maladaptive belief on a target?
Yeah, so have one client that comes to mind is, so I've been seeing he and his wife for couples counseling for several months, and when he initially came in, knew that he had a pretty significant trauma background, but is pretty high functioning. Is a CEO of a pretty well known company. So is high functioning in a lot of other areas, but his trauma is particularly getting in the way of sort of intimacy in his marriage and relationship, and that's driving a lot of kind of what we're doing in couples counseling. So when I came back from EMDR training, thought that this would be a really good sort of test case because we have pretty good rapport. And so we targeted our initial sort of problematic belief is the recent memory that we sort of targeted was he does a lot with fitness, and they went on a vacation, and his wife just like went to town on the all you can eat buffet at the place that they were at. He's like, I see her shoveling food in her mouth, and it makes me feel like I'm a failure as a husband. So it was kind of the recent memory along with the belief is I'm a failure. And then his sort of alternative belief would be, well, I'm successful in a lot of other areas, so I'm not a failure as a husband, even if I'm a failure in this area. And I was like, oh, so what's your VOC on that? He's like, oh, 7. Like I'm killing it in every other area of life. I wholly believe that. And in my mind, I'm going, okay, like if you easily say it's a 7, that's not the right sort of belief, and that there's something there, but it's you're sort of whatever. There's other stuff going on underneath the surface,
Mhm.
And so we started processing, and kind of stalled out in our second session. I've been doing double sessions with him, just because of the way our schedules line up. I don't do a whole lot of double sessions, but have been doing them with him. And at one point, it felt like we were kind of stalling out. His sublevel wasn't really changing. We've been doing open processing. It's pretty high functioning. And he was kind of plateauing at like, I can't remember what his sublevel was. It wasn't really moving very much. And so then we kind of came out, just really naturally came out, just kind of started processing, hey, what's this like for you? Like going through this is a very different form of therapy than what we've been doing before. And we were just kind of having conversation, talking about his wife. And he's like, yeah. And so we've got this vacation coming up. And I just get so sad when I think about like, this idea of being, at the vacation destination with my wife, like, I just get so sad. And I noticed that his emotion, like, sort of came back into the room. It's like, okay, go with that. We jumped right back into the processing. But then it's like, it sort of informed our, memories and our alternative, but I don't have that recorded down. It's like, so we're doing good work, but it feels sort of clumsy. And if we were to come back in, like, I don't even know if I would have a clear picture of, okay, so what is our targeted belief? What is our targeted memory? Like I have a felt sense of like I kind of know where we're heading because it's always a present memory. It's always something that came up recently with his wife, and it's all somewhat related. Like it feels all the same, but I wouldn't be able to sort of like write down on paper, clearly verbalized, what is that sort of network. So that's what I mean by it just feels clumsy. Like we're doing good progress, but it doesn't feel like it's. I feel like I could be doing a whole lot better at this.
Yeah, yeah, sure, and congratulations, because that means you're growing, right? And so, pain is an indication of growth. When you work out a particular muscle group, you're gonna be sore afterwards. Well, what's the soreness? Well, it's growth. Okay, so that's what this is. Now, here's the other thing. So it feels like there could be something beneath the surface. That's what it feels like. So he feels like a failure. So the fact that he feels like a failure, what does that say? What does that say about him? So and then compare and contrast. He's super successful in his occupation. Okay, top 1%. Okay, so but yet at home, I think about it this way. All right, so remember, I'm gonna give you some framework. I don't want to just tell you. I want you to have the framework. Here's the framework. Remember your negative belief system is developed by your family of origin. And your adaptive neural network is developed by your external environment, your coaches, your doctors, your therapist, your pastor, your coach. Okay. And so you say, well, how could someone who has this robust adaptive almost has this anemic? What do you mean? You feel doom and gloom when it's time to go on vacation, when it's time to spend time with your family, the people you love, the people that really matter. What does that say? So what does that say about him? What does that mean? How does that make you feel like? So I would ask, these are some of the things I would ask. I would say, so how old does that feel? Does that feel like the powerful, business owner, wheeling, dealing, making decisions? Or does that feel like, I don't know, like little boyish, like maybe? So there's a couple of things. So one is you're looking at an attachment injury. And the negative belief is probably something like, I'm responsible, therefore I have to be perfect. Because that works in business. If you could be responsible in business and be perfect in business, you will make a lot of money. But it doesn't work being responsible for people in your interpersonal life. The people at work, they follow your command because you're cutting the check.